Welcome to Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. Make your mark. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, July 7th, 2016. Let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. The bodybuilding world is full of interesting storylines and colorful characters. And this past weekend at the NPC Team Universe, there was another interesting new footnote added to the IFBB's long and storied history when species nutrition athlete Sondra Blackman won her pro card in the Class A bikini. If that name rings a bell, it's probably because Sondra is the twin sister of species nutrition athlete Erica Blockman, who's become one of the fastest rising stars in the women's physique division over the past 2 seasons. It isn't the first time we've seen sibling combos both make their way to the pro stage, but given the current landscape of the women's side of the sport and the fluidity of the bikini division, there's a very real possibility that at some point in the near future, we could have both Blockman sisters make their way to the Olympia stage. And that, I think, would certainly be worth a historical footnote. After making his pro debut earlier this season with an impressive 4th place finish back at the California Pro, former NPC National Overall Champ Alexis Malone doesn't look like he's missed a beat. This week, Rolon released a few photos from a recent guest posing appearance in Puerto Rico, where he looked like he could have stepped right onto any pro lineup and do his fair share of damage. Rolon has really packed on some size over the past 2 years, but he's managed to do so without sacrificing any of those great lines that make his physique so special. With a little bit more seasoning and a few more shows under his belt, it'll only be a matter of time before we start to see him really challenging for wins against some of the best the sport has to offer. It's been a while since we've heard anything from David Henry. Earlier this season, Henry hit the stage at the Arnold Classic looking the best we'd seen him in several years. But unfortunately for him, he ran into 2 buzzsaws by the name of Yamagishi and Raymond that cut him down a few pegs. However, these days, the former Olympia champ isn't looking any worse for the wear and is still in the gym every day doing what David Henry does best, moving heavy weights and making it look easy. At this point, the jury is still out as to whether or not we're going to see David Henry on the Olympia stage again before the year's end. But if I was a betting man, I'd say Henry will be there, and he'll be the best we've ever seen. Batman vs. Superman rocked the box office earlier this year as fans came out in droves to see the clash of 2 titans. And 10 weeks from now, it looks like future physique superstar Shanique Grant will be on the collision course of her own when she takes the stage for her first career Olympia appearance. Grant released some new back training footage this week, giving her fans a sneak peek at what the second-year pro has been working on over these last few weeks since she's gone into full-scale prep mode. When it comes to pure genetic talent, Grant is in the same conversation as Juliana Malacarni and Autumn Swanson, as athletes who are in a class all of their own. But talent and potential don't win titles, so if she ever wants to be more than just a potential Olympia threat, the young and talented Miss Grant better keep her foot on the accelerator all the way to the Miss Olympia. Well, Britain may have decided to leave the European Union and make headlines last week, but the UK's biggest export doesn't seem like he has any intentions of vacating his current residence at the top of the 212 division. This week, some new photos surfaced of an absolutely gigantic-looking Flex Lewis, just under 11 weeks out from making a defense of his 212 title. And I think it's safe to say that the champ doesn't seem to have any intention of disappearing anytime soon. Right now, Lewis is looking completely ridiculous and seems to have reignited that championship fire that's driven him to carve out his own spot in the annals of 212 history. And at just 32 years old, Lewis is still really just entering into the peak of his prime. So unless he decides to retire young, there's very little chance anyone will be able to usurp his title.
Hey guys, it's Stevie B here. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button below and never miss another RxMuscle show, segment, or update. RxMuscle is number one.